Let's do
You know, I really don't care about one.
Good little connection. That's cool.
I think some eye products are. Is that all they have? Is eye products?
I believe.
Yeah, I thought there was like.
Hogwarts should be one of the pitchers.
Yeah, that's why I was excited. She's pitching, Cody's playing, Lexi was gonna catch.
No, I was kind of excited for you to mention the three. I don't know if that's ever happened. Like 3 family members pitching, hitting, and catching.
Yeah. All right, hello again, everybody. Welcome, fans of Beat Baseball and the NBBA. We are live from South Lake Soccer Complex in Wichita, Kansas, for the all-women's game, Women of the League, the North Dynamic Divas versus the South Bombshells, winners of 4 straight in this event. This event is hosted by Visit Wichita, and it's presented by InVision. So this should be a great game today. Bombshells have won ever since 2016. The last time the Divas won this event was 2015. So this should be an awesome event, and we look forward to bringing it to you.
So we have our Southwest Bombshells are wearing their turquoise blue t-shirts with a black circle with an outline silhouette of a girl hitting a ball, but the ball is a bomb. We have our Divas are wearing their gray shirts that has looks like red gloves punching a ball.
Oh, you're not a girl. This is from Jeff.
So that is our uniforms. We have our captains are out getting ready to do their coin toss out at home plate.
Unless you want to put it on or whatever you want to do.
Just waiting for that coin toss up to see who's going to be home and who's going to be away.
I'll put it in the car.
She's 13, that's his 11-year-old.
Oh, sure, yeah. And this is Richie Flores here, sitting in with Matt Wallace and Rosina Coleman Foster to offer some little anecdotes about the players. You know, along with my friend Faith Penn, back in 2015, we wrote a resolution to get an all-women's game, and that's how the Women of our League was created. And since 16, as Matt mentioned, the Bombshells have been winning. Faith Penn has been offensive player of the game at least 2 or 3 times. Kalari from the Chicago Comets, who plays with the Dynamic Divas, has taken home the defensive title for this game, and we will be looking out to see who shows up today and comes out with the offensive gold and the defensive goal and the big win for the teams.
The coin toss was batting first, so just a little note there.
Still plenty of sun out there today, so it's still pretty hot. Very few clouds out there. It's going to be a hot game at the end of the 3 games we had earlier today. Again, these girls did play on other teams throughout the day.
Another player to watch for is Hillary Oswald of the Bayou City Heat. Definitely another woman to watch. Also, the Hogwood sisters, Dakota and Camry, playing together on the same team on the Northern Divas. So that's a cool little story there. 2 sisters playing on the same team. The umpire, Casey Cashman. I apologize if you mentioned that.
We have our teams right now. They're lined up on their respective. We have the Bombshells over on the third base side getting a team pitcher, and we have the Divas over on the first base side lined up getting their point over. Setting up our base judges here. Umpires doing the traditional mass check to make sure nobody can peek or see. Make this a fair game for all around, regardless of what vision is had by the individual players.
Yep, so that's a good point, Rosina. Any vision you have, for those of you who don't know, those of you just tuning in, any vision you may have, you need support for the totally blind, but you need to be totally blind when you're playing it. So you can have a certain degree of eyesight. I'm not 100% positive on what it is now, but you have a certain degree of eyesight. You're allowed to be allowed to play in the league, but when you're playing in a game, you always have to have a mask on, eye shades on, to make sure that you can't see anything. This game needs to be played totally blind.
Absolutely, Matt. This is going to be really women. There's not very many women on these teams, so it's really nice they can all come together and we can really spotlight all their potential and their skills out there in an all-women's game. So the Wool game is for women of our league.
Yeah, and it's got to be pretty refreshing. I mean, we're done now. This is 2 full days of pool play. The first full day of games that counted towards elimination is complete today, and there's a lot of competitiveness. There's a lot of the juice is flowing, and this is kind of like, this is just a chance to have fun. This is, obviously there's competitiveness, obviously there's a desire to win, but this is a desire to showcase yourself, your talents, and just the pride in playing in this league as a woman and what it means to be, as good as you are as a player. And this is just a chance to have fun and a chance to watch some good players play without, worrying about maybe all the other ins and outs. So,
yeah, I would say out of 200, beat ball players, 250 beat ball players in the league, probably about 30 to 40 of them are female. So as you can see, it's definitely dominated by men, and it's hard to get into the starting lineup as a female in some of these teams. And so, giving them a game to themselves, having them be celebrated by, the 500 plus that are here, it's great. We love doing it. They love showing their talent too. So.
And as we talk about supporting them, you can hear a lot of the background noise behind us that you might not have heard in the previous games. We have a lot of support back here of spectators. It might be family members, it might be spouses, it might be their home teams, but it's really nice to see all the people come out and support the women that are in this league.
Well, yeah, and you also see this is going to be the biggest crowd that we've had, because of that. And we did other games where other players and other teams were on different fields. This is it. We're all here. Everyone wants to watch this. Everyone's looking forward to this. Everyone's been looking forward to this. Whether you have friends who are, on one of these teams, or whether you just support the idea of women in the league, it's just it's a great opportunity.
And we do have a gentleman who is standing out past the pitcher's mound. He has a flag on his shoulders that both of our teams are facing currently. So I'm not sure if they're going to be doing an anthem at some point, but it is kind of an interesting change from all the other games that we've had so far.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that's very interesting. We're not really sure as to what is happening. The game,
I think they're trying to set up for some opening announcements.
Okay.
I think we're going to have a national anthem sung by Maya Stringer, I believe, and Rusty Reams will be doing some microphone announcement to the audience out here in public, and I think they're getting that all set up. But yeah.
Well, for those of you who just tuned in, those of you who just want a quick little brush up, beat baseball, 6-on-6, 6 players on each side to start, and it's a 6-inning game. So again, if you've never watched the sport before, you're 6 innings, and it's 6-on-6.
And we might go over some few basic rules of our game, just kind of touching on some highlights.
When you are batting, 4 strikes and you're out, right? 1 take for your timing. And if you want to go over some...
So apparently they're having some technical difficulties, so I think they're going to...
Getting ready here.
Do it library style here.
Quiet, please.
Quiet on the sideline.
Take y'all's hats off, though. Take your hat off. All right, where you going? Go ahead.
Stop.
probably could not have heard that, but it was a beautiful rendition of the Star Spangled Banner. And we did have enough breeze that that flag was indeed waving in the air.
But Rosina, if you maybe go over, every time we're going to talk about the lines.
I might have Richie go over some of the rules. He's probably going to have a few more of those.
Sure.
Some basics.
Like maybe where the lines, some of those lines are. And
Right,
40 feet out from the pitcher.
So about 45 feet out from the pit, from the plate is the foul line. The ball must cross that for it to be fair. Pitcher stands about 20 feet from home plate. There's a 170-foot line for home runs, 100-foot bases, and we have a first and third only. So that's what I got right now for basics.
And as far as a home run goes, it is 2 runs if you hit a home run. If that goes over that 170-foot line in the air, so if you hit over 170 feet in the air and it bounces past that line, it is a home run, and your team gets 2 runs. Probably won't happen because, according to the sources, it hasn't happened since 2002 or so. But if you happen to catch a ball in the air, before it bounces, if it bounces once and you catch it, it doesn't count. Catch it in the air, the side is retired. Whether that means your team automatically gets 3 outs defensively, or the inning is over for your side if you catch the ball in the air. So.
Right now, we have our umpire, KFC.
Jamie Simpson's going to be leading off for the
is going over a roster.
Ashley Malero will be second at bat. Faith Penn, third at bat. Rosie Reed for the Bombshells batting fourth. Crystal starting off. Pam Chesser rounding off the 6th hole. Ronnie Bellamy will be a substitute. Lakeisha Holmes.
So those are your bombshells.
And I think they already did the Divas.
Yeah, I think they announced the Divas, but we will announce them as they come up.
Basically, we'll give you the bombshells lineup, and we'll figure out
as the Divas come up to bat. We'll let you know. Yeah. Oh, here we go. I think they're.
Malero.
There's Ashley Malero. She's for rookie season, and Crystal Malero's been playing for a little while.
Okay.
They're from. They both represent the Austin Blackhawks.
So they've
been some Texas girls, some pretty good beat ballers.
So you have 2 sets of sisters. The Hogwoods playing for the Divas.
Yeah, I heard. Just got a little bit of information. Ashley Malero scored her first run today in beat ball as a rookie. It's pretty cool to do that on your second day of World Series.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Especially as a female.
Yes.
In the real game, she actually got playing time, and she made the best of it.
Absolutely. Now, did we ever get a score on who wound up taking that Chaos versus?
Chaos won 6-3.
Chaos did win 6-3.
Yeah, Chaos are
kind of an upset over Comets, who were undefeated yesterday.
Yeah, Rosina's definitely not puffing out her chest just a little bit over here.
Not at all.
But that is a great win for the Atlanta Chaos. They got off to a tough start yesterday, and for the Comets after that win over the Blackhawks, that's that kind of sets things. So definitely kind of throws some things into the fire in that after the top 4. So it ought to be interesting.
Do you want me to get the roster to maybe you can take a picture of it?
That would be great. We have Kalari up at bat for the Divas.
Yeah, Kalari Gertley will be the leadoff batter.
We got our Fonzie ball nice and ready to go. Top of the first, game about to be underway. Thank you everyone for joining us. Again, this is hosted by Visit Wichita and it's presented by Envision, and we are broadcasting this game for you on behalf of the NBBA from the South Lakes Soccer Complex in Wichita, Kansas. So, thank all the fans of the NBBA, fans of our broadcast, tuning into this game and checking us out. We're about to get started. Divas up first.
Ball's beeping now, so here we go. All of this tournament, we decided to use a new constructed beat ball by Fonzie Madrano. It kind of has a different tone than the beat balls we've been playing with, but it seems to be, they've been working pretty well. I haven't seen too many break as far as beeps are concerned, but mainly some of the coating of the ball seems to be coming off after a couple big hits. sometimes, but
You know, it's funny. I've continued to wonder why everyone just kept calling them the Fonzie balls. Now I finally have my answer. Someone named Fonzie actually.
yeah, Fonzo Madrano is the pitcher for the Bayou City Heat. He's also an engineer, so.
Seeing how well the pitcher and the catcher are working together.
Pitcher for the Dynamic Divas is Ashley Wrench. She represents the Gateway Arch first Wool game.
Oh, very nice.
Yeah.
All right, doing their field check. It's going to do their base check soon, and it looks like we're ready to get underway.
First pitch for the Wool game 2021.
There we go. They've been waiting 2 years to do this.
Yeah.
Umpiring this game is Casey Cashin, who
She sounds ready to go.
yeah,
Always like to hear the confidence.
And an underswing. She was under that ball, probably about 4 inches, just getting worked up.
So first strike of the game. Always interesting to see which team is on early, which pitcher is on it early.
And again, sliding underneath that ball by about 4 inches, just trying to find their groove.
So 2 strikes, hasn't utilized her take yet. Leadoff batter in this game, top 1.
And a pop up high, about 20 feet in the air, just past the pitcher line and almost to the foul line. And she is
she's safe.
safe. Kalari has hit the first point for the Wool game for 2021.
Good swing. The first 2 swings didn't look like much was going on, and then
It was very well placed, just on the inside of the foul line and just past the.
And really, the key to that was how long it was in the air, Rosina. That gave, which, by the way, she had speed to burn. That gave Kalari plenty of time to get to the base. And she really didn't need plenty of time. And
lead off hitter.
So it's 1-0 in favor of the Divas. Very good piece of hitting.
Next
First
batter should be Kim Blumenthal.
Yep. Kim Blumenthal representing the Gateway Archers as well. So Ashley should know her pretty well.
This will be a pitcher to hitter connection.
Yeah.
Spectator usually hear the umpire announce it kind of to the crowd. You know, when a base check
underneath that pitch.
Kim, also the captain of the Gateway Archers. Big reason for their existence. Here we go.
2 strikes now.
Slide underneath there.
Still nobody out.
On a solid hit, down grounder over between center and right field, and went right to her, and they have her out.
There's a scoop by Pamela Chesser.
So that's out number 1, and that's a very good piece of hitting again on a 2-strike hit. But that one was a little more on the ground, a little more of a chance for the Bombshells to field it, and field it Pamela Chesser did for the first out.
Pamela Chesser representing the Austin Blackhawks, who have probably the most females on their team. Actually, they could field a team of females, I think, on the Austin Blackhawks.
So Gina up at bat, Gina Natoli.
Yeah, Gina Natoli.
We saw her get put out or 2 earlier in her game today.
Yeah, we did. We saw her play against the Legends.
Gina Natoli, one of the rare females that starts almost every game in the World Series for the Philadelphia Fire.
She does very good back-end defensive player. Always hustles back there.
She's going to swing today.
And she had a high swing. The ball was a little bit low. Got about 2 inches of clearance there. She's feeling up home plate to reset herself. And a low swing on that one. The ball was a little high.
Gina Natoli started playing for the Philadelphia Wolfpack when they were a thing, and then they became the Philadelphia Fire. She stuck with them.
And again, she's sliding over the top of that. This is her 3rd strike.
3 strikes, hasn't taken a pitch yet. 1 out, top 1.
And she took a pass on that one.
Oh, there we go.
So here's the money pitch. 1-3, 1 out. Coming out here.
Bouncing on the balls of her feet just a little, anticipating.
It's real funny with those takes. Some pitchers let you take and some don't.
And she was sliding right over the top of that one. So that is going to be an out.
That's 2 outs. And I'm sure, Richie, there are some pitchers that you simply just don't take, just because their pitcher, they're so good.
Yeah.
That you really, Johnny Walker we saw earlier. I think we saw 1, maybe 2 passes the whole game. I think we saw, you just don't really take Johnny Walker's pitches. And you would know that firsthand. You play for the Jets. Kevin Simpson, one of the best pitchers in the world. You just don't really take too many of his pitches.
Yeah, I mean, some people are just, you might, or the one you take would have been the best pitch. You never know.
Got Rebecca Lewis up at bat for
Rebecca
the Divas.
Lewis, representing the Indy Thunder.
So we have a 1-0 game. We have 2 outs now after the Gina Natoli strikeout, first strikeout we've seen in the game. So good contact so far.
Sliding just barely underneath it. There was almost no space between the bat and the ball.
I like Ashley. She likes to talk to her batters.
So Ashley.
Sliding just ball.
Initially after. So that's 3 strikes. Let's see if she chooses to take a pitch or.
And she slid right underneath that one.
That's
The
3
ball
outs.
was touch high.
So that will do it. But the top of the first, Kalari gets the job done. Sorry, what's the last name? Good piece of strike hitting, the leadoff batter of the game, and we'll go to the bottom of the first. It's the Divas 1. The bombshell's coming up.
Yep. That's good. That's a good start for the Divas. I mean, like I said, they have, since the beginning of the World Games, they've always been trying to get their first win, and it's a good start for them.
It's a good start for them. Their first 2 batters made some solid contact. Last 2 batters struck out. Maybe a little bit of a concern there going down the line, but that's top 1. So both pitchers trying to get warmed up themselves. I mean, if you're a pitcher, and also how much practice with a lot of these players. One of the contacts we saw from the gateway connection, Ashley, Kimberly was put out, but she did put the ball in play.
Familiarity is key, and that's what might help the bombshells. As I said, most of them are representing the Austin Blackhawks. The also represents the Austin Blackhawks, so they know each other really well.
So we do have a new pitcher stepping up to the plate for
a new pitcher.
Have the
this is Molly
bombshells
okay.
stepping up. So this is Molly. We have
like a
Jamie
new pitcher that we didn't
Simpson
expect. Okay.
up at bat.
And catching is Cameron Simpson, who is niece to Kevin Simpson. Will be batting.
She's batting right now.
Oh, this is her. She's leadoff.
Jamie is not.
Jamie is out.
Not the one. I'm sorry, not. So Jamie then is the. So she's related to Kevin. So it's interesting. There's so many interrelated. It really is great. With people.
Well, the blindness world is a fairly small community.
It is, but it's great to see all the fathers and sons, even with Jamie, daughters, and just that have their parents and their families for years, and the Hogwoods. Personally, when I used to play beat baseball, back in those days when the legendary Matt Wallace put on the cleats. The Coda Hogwood and Camp, they were 12 years old, 13 years old, coming to the field and spotting and helping out, and it was. Now you see just a decade more than that later. out of the, you know, you need to hit it beyond that line for it to be considered a matter of can the fielder outrun the ball before the runner reaches the base. She was able to do so.
Okay, I think Ashley Rivera's up the bat. That's high up in the lineup, she must be a good swinger. Let's see. And I think it was off of Molly.
Hi.
Molly's also the starting spotter for the Austin Blackhawks. She's
And she was a little high on that. There was about 3-inch clearance.
Story, second ever day at the.
Oh, and that one was close.
and again, so
You got 3 strikes on her here. Trying to stay alive and.
Straight to, and she is out. Kalari has her again.
Laurie Gerkley, there she goes with her second put out, and to add that to her 1 run earlier. So she's
Back-to-back putouts for Kalari Kirkley. A chance to. This.
yeah. And again, in the league pretty much this. It's kind of like. Oh, okay, gotcha.
Underneath the swing, and she's just missing it by an inch or 2.
Down to their final strike inning now.
And a hard hit grounder right past the pitcher down into between center and right field. I didn't actually see it uplifted in the air with their hands up against the body and not.
Good. You're really close.
It was a split-second close.
Yeah.
And in that situation, you know, you may give the fielder a little bit of the. You had the ball; it was up. That one probably could have beaten that one out.
Yeah, and sometimes you got to choose, you know, when to challenge, you know. You know, a lot of those close plays, like maybe you might not get this one, but the next time the umpire, you know, might be like, oh, yeah, no, I took the one from them, I should give them this one. These close plays are just so close sometimes that it just, you know, we don't have the instant replay, you know, that kind of thing. But.
Yep, but a couple themes. The first inning, all 3 hitters hit 3 strike pitches off of Molly. So having a little bit of time, but she doesn't need the fourth strike. She's able to adjust in time. All 3 batters made solid contact.
Did Kalari get the 3rd out?
No, that was not Kalari.
It sounded like it was hit a little behind, but
I'll find out.
Kathleen J is up at bat.
But we now advance to the second inning. It's a 1-0 Divas lead, and they're now looking to extend it. So that's really the takeaway. Wasn't sure if that was a practice pitch or not, but it is not.
There were 2 girls that were huddled up on that ball, so I was a little unsure.
That's okay.
But yeah, we have
Kalari
Kathleen
pulled a hat trick.
Okay, so it was. I'm clearly smart. So that was Kalari who made all 3 plays in that inning.
A little bit low of a swing.
So she made all 3 putouts. She scored the only run of the game. Definitely the MVP of the first inning.
Oh, that was close. She might have had a hair space between the ball and the bat.
So that's 4 straight swings, and that is a strikeout. That's the first out of the inning.
I think here's Dakota Hogwood.
And if you weren't sure if it was Dakota Hogwood, now you are, as Scott Hogwood definitely excited about his daughter. And now the rest of the Titans, you can hear him cheering over there.
I tell you, Dakota, I played with the Philly Fire in Ames, Iowa last month in a tournament, and we went, our first 5 at-bats, we were not doing well, and she was our 6th hole. She scored the first run in Ames, Iowa.
Not rightly sure, because my
She can pound,
list
too.
shows Erica Thomas, but it looks like Dakota Hogwood that is out there. And a hard hit right along the right baseline.
She's safe.
And she is safe. The outfielder's just completely stopped at the ball.
So that's a run for Dakota Hogwood to make it 2-0. I was confused because who told them to stop in the field?
I'm not
What was
sure who
that?
told them to stop, but they just completely froze and didn't even go for the ball.
Yeah, the
I
defense
think that was the
apparently didn't move.
spotter.
So then that's a run, and that, as a spotter, that's a tough one. So they don't redo it. That's just a run then. So they just okay.
No.
So
That's
I
up
mean,
to their team, the spotter.
wow, she just had him freezing
She
in the field.
might have thought it was foul. I'm not sure.
Oh, that might have been right.
Well, it wasn't, and that's a fair ball, and that's a 2-0 Divas lead. That's not sure. Not sure if that was a mistake but that's a run. It's a big call.
I think they were thinking there might have been a collision, but
Ooh, that's a tough one there for the Bombshells.
yeah. That's definitely one word in beat baseball that you gotta try to keep your ears out for all the time.
Stop.
Stop.
Yep.
Just always
Maybe
assume
this
it's you.
one is Erica
But
Thomas.
good for Dakota Hogwood for scoring the run, upping the lead now to 2-0, top of the second. Also good for Ashley snapping the 3 straight strikeouts. Feels good for her to get some contact again.
Either Erica or Ada.
I feel like we should be back at the top of the order.
I think this is our 6th hole. I can't remember who this is.
So there's one, because remember they scored a run in the first, then there was 3 outs. That's 4 batters. Then there was 1 out, and then there was a run.
Oh,
Yep. So this would be the top of the
Kalari?
order. Yep.
Okay.
Oh, we missed it.
Because there was 3 outs, they scored,
Yeah,
and then they
that's
strike out, then Cody.
Yep.
Yep. So 2 strikes.
And that was way low. She was totally.
The pitcher
under
blaming
them.
herself on that one. 3 strikes. Kalari 1 for 1 on the day. Scored the first run of this game in the first inning. Also made 3 defensive putouts.
Sass from the pitcher there.
Kalari strikes out.
Ball
And in
is
case anyone was
just a little
curious,
high.
Kalari does think too much, and she was here to have fun. But according to her pitcher, she may not necessarily be doing that right now. No, but she strikes out there. That's the second out of the.
Up at bat now.
She's 0 for 1. Made contact. Her first at bat was put out. But this is the Missouri connection here for a second time.
Doing our base checks. Make sure everything is clear for the audio. That was right over to left field, but it went. And she is out.
Jamie Simpson.
Jamie Simpson with the putout. So couple of tough breaks. Kimberly was able to put the ball in play twice. Twice she was retired by the Bombshell defense. But another run for the Divas in the second inning. That's the Divas have been fairly consistent with their also seen plenty of contacts. They've had 2 runs. They have 2 putouts, by Kimberly. So you've seen 4 contacts, 4 strikeouts, 2 runs from the perspective of the Divas. And that's really not bad, especially early in a game, especially in a game where you as a team are trying to snap your losing streak. You may be against it a little bit. There's a lot of, as you mentioned earlier, the Austin connection on the side of the Bombshells. So far, the Divas have done well. Now, we're going to see the 4, 5, and 6 for the Bombshells. Haven't seen these young ladies bat. We're going to see how they do.
This is going to be Rosie up at bat.
Rosie Reed from the Tyler Tigers. Been playing beat ball
We have a little bit of dancing out here from our umpire, making sure that, as the previous pitchers said, we're out here to have some fun.
Hey.
Play is over. Tension. Competitive juices flowing in these games. We just saw it from. And just.
This was the community.
Yep.
Our umpire. Don't think that was quite the YMCA.
See if the Bombshells and Rosie Reed can get something going here.
Ready for our first pitch. Oh, and very high pitch. She has very high swings. They were fitted, but she did just miss by about 3 inches.
Just keeps that consistent. Good things should happen.
Rosie Reed's another really good defensive player. Gets a lot of playing time throughout the World Series for Tyler.
Oh, her swing.
And Tyler's been an improving outfit for years. They've been, a decade or so ago, they were definitely struggling, and they really.
Yeah, they've been in the top 10 a couple times the last few years.
So 2 strikes now.
It was almost a perfect pitch, but off by about an inch.
So 3 strikes now to Rosie Reed.
Rosie's
It's pretty high. It's like a tennis racket.
Yeah.
nice hit, but I don't think it's going to make it. It's right along the first base line, and it only went out about 23 feet.
Fans, and that's the thing in this game. You just have a chance to support your friends, your family, your teammate.
Bat back
Give it
up.
another big swing. Here we go.
Lead batter in the bottom of the second.
Hard hit over into right field. It's missing them all the way out in the back. She's out.
Oh, that was such a great hit.
Who picked that up over there? Who made the put out, Miss? And Molly's starting to find the bats. Definitely the last few Bombshells hitters have hit it pretty solidly, but the fielders
Come on, Crystal.
of the Divas have got there a little faster. I don't need. But there seems to be a strategy by having any hope she's going to drill it, and that's what's happened for all 4 of the first. His fielders have been on it.
And a tip off of that.
Pitch.
Each time you do these predictions, Matt.
Yeah, Austin, another Austin Black.
Yeah, I think there was a couple times I was predicting
That
swing
was
and
a
a miss.
slight miss. It's the ball perfect tip up, but it spun and rolled right back to the catcher.
All right.
So once again, found the bat. She's found it twice, and it happens on 3 strikes.
Just need to line it up at the center of the bat there. And a hard hit popped right over the pitcher's head into center. She's just got to run. It looks like Kalari's almost there. Somebody else has jumped on it, and they have held it up.
Oh, she missed the.
And that is out number 2. She missed the base. She made a beat in the play. It sounded like it would have been close. Was that Kalari over there making the pickup?
Yep, no Kalari for their 4th putout.
So that's 4 putouts for
Becca
her.
Lewis for the putout.
Becca Lewis.
Rebecca.
That'll be Becca Lewis. So that's her first putout of the game. But once again, the Bombshells kicking themselves, I would imagine, on a missed opportunity. I mean, this game could be 2-2 if maybe there was a little more speed to burn or a little more direction to the base.
Was not speed. That was a
Just
misdirection
missed
base.
the base.
So the first one was speed, second one was misdirection, and either way, it's no
Past
runs
it.
and it's 2 outs. And it's a shame because you want to be complimentary right now of Molly, who once again 5 for 5. Her batters are 3-strike hits, solidly, pressure-packed 3-strike hits, and she's delivered all 5 times, and just her runners have just not been able to complete the job.
Okay, we do have Pam Chester come up here. She's a left-handed hitter for the Bombshells.
Another Black Hawk.
And if you're the Divas, you can smell it now. You get through this inning.
And that was a high
Swing and a
miss.
miss.
The ball was about 6 inches up above the bat. Pam has a very even waist-high swing.
That is true. Yep.
Oh, and this ball was just a little on the outside for her swing.
Pamela Cheshire.
Going to be 2 strikes. Pamela Cheshire rounding out the Bombshell order.
Mother of 6. 15 to
God bless her.
6 months.
A solid hit. And it went right straight down the center to Kalari.
Kalari Gerke picks it up.
So
She
that
is
will be
out. There was
nothing.
not even a chance to hit to that base this time. It was straight into Kalari's arms. And she sprints into her bench.
Yeah, nothing that the Bombshells could do about that one. That was just a very good right to Kalari. Kalari is a defensive player. She was on it. She was on top of it. And that is the inning. 1, 2, 3. Once again go the Bombshells. And once again, all done on the defensive side of things by the Divas. So we can talk about the base running, and that is definitely a topic of conversation. Got to give credit where credit is due for the Divas not giving up on these plays in the field. 6 for 6. There have been no strikeouts on the Bombshell side of things. So this has been all putouts on the Diva side.
So we got our Bombshells taking the field out here for defense.
Did you miss me today?
Divas are getting ready for their lineup. The pitcher heading out to the field.
You should. I mean, I'm fun. Just ask me. I'll tell
They
you.
all look like they're still in high spirits, even with the heat out there. You can feel the excitement and the adrenaline from the Wool game going on.
And the Divas will carry their 2-0 lead now as we advance to the 3rd inning. So headed toward the middle portion of this game.
I think we might be with
This is
Gina,
Gina
up to bat.
Up to bat.
Yeah, it'll be 3, 4, 5. So yep, that would be.
Had a practice pitch
practicing.
there while we're waiting for the field.
Scoreboard?
Perfect hit. Pop up. Only went about 10 feet, but right along the third base line.
Everything was perfect about
It just
Getting it
rolled up
fair.
off the tap of the bat. That's the only issue.
it. 0 for 1 today for Gina. She struck out back in the first.
It seems like she found the bat this time, so let's see.
And that's something I believe the first at bat was 4 swings and 4 misses. So I think that the bat hit that ball.
Pitcher's moving the hitter a little closer to the plate. Oh, and another tip off the top of the back, rolled right into the catcher.
2 strikes.
It's kind of interesting in beat baseball. A lot of the blind folks, have to measure themselves up with the plate. Everybody has their own individual way, but some people touch the plate. Some people use the bat to line
And
the
another pop up again.
That's 3 straight connections by Gina, and that's 3 strikes. But
All of them rolling right up back behind her. And Gina touching the plate to set herself up. Tapping the plate.
yeah,
That
I remember
little love
Kind
tap.
of use your bat like a cane.
like a
sort of.
cane. Yeah.
Tap, tap. And a hard hit over into left field, but it
man,
is
she's
out.
on it.
She really is. It's 4 for 4 contacts. Not having any problem hitting the ball. Just needs to get that straightened out.
I tell you what, after 2 innings, this is probably one of the most exciting
Wool games.
Wool games as I've seen, as far as like offense is concerned.
This is the first game I've had the pleasure of watching, but
Oh, and that time was a miss right over the ball by about an inch and a half.
That's the old, extremely frustrating beat baseball at bat because it goes into the books as a strikeout. And she hit 4 out of 5 pitches, right? So as a pitcher, it goes down that you struck another batter out, but you really were on that batter. You just, it's the way it goes sometimes, and that's the first out of the inning.
I think that's why too we like the 4 strikes. As blind people, I think a lot of folks want 3 strikes to the game to be faster, but that's just another adapted thing that we added in there. 4 strikes, foul off as much as you can.
How many pieces of 3-strike hitting have we seen in this game alone? Just in the first 2 innings by the Bombshells. I mean, that's something you can't just.
Okay, the field is ready. Coming up for the pitch. Hard pop-up hit, but it's going to be over by the third base bench.
She's like pitched 6 and connected 6 times, or 5 out of the 6 or something like that. Yeah, she's been.
And who do we have here? This is 1 out, no one on for the 4th
Rebecca
batter.
Lewis
This is Rebecca
up
Lewis.
at
Okay.
Rebecca Indy Thunder, who, my gosh, I can't remember the last time I've seen her be put into a game. She's won that Indy Thunder championship team. She's probably like 11th or 12th on the depth chart.
Yeah, and
You do
4-time
have her
defending
coach out there taking a snapshot of her striking
2
the
strikes.
ball, though. And a hard pop-up, but again, it's going to go foul over by the third base.
So 3 strikes. It's so interesting. I know I pointed it out earlier, but it's so funny. This pitcher Ashley for the Divas, you can hear all of her everything that she's trying to coach her bat. If you wanted to listen, you could really get some insight into what's going on emotionally with the Divas. Molly with the Bombshells is just like, let's go. I'm here to pitch. I'm here to get some
Down to business.
Yep.
Ready for the pitch. Another twist-up pop-up. Only went about 2 feet.
So that's 7 out of 9 or so contacted this inning so far, and none of them fair. 3 strikes.
Ashley Wrench really, for her rookie year and the season, she's really showing it.
Her team leads 2-0 as they bat in the top of the 3rd.
Hard hit into right field, and it is going to.
Is that Faith?
To get a good amount of time.
Friday.
Okay, we got Kathleen J up at bat for her first pitch this inning.
She's also 0 for 1. She struck out in her first at bat.
Okay, and she was a little high on that. The ball was probably about 3 inches off of the ball.
Yeah, as soon as she released that one, she knew. Slipped out of my hand.
Set up for the next pitch. Oh, that one was much closer. Had about an inch on that one of space. Things continue.
Strikes out two batters in this inning. That doesn't really tell the story. That was the first at bat we saw all inning where there was no contact. The majority of the pitches were contacted by the Divas. They kept one of them fair. That was put out. So a 1-2-3 inning all told. And we'll go to the bottom of the 3rd of this low-scoring affair. It is 2-0 Divas.
We do have the Bombshells coming back up to bat, Matt, and I'm sure that they're hoping that they get this inning.
1 through 3 batters coming up for them, and all 6 of their batters have put the ball in play. That has not been the issue. And the question is, how long can the Divas keep this up defensively? Will they be tired? It's definitely, Rosina, not as hot as this morning's 11:30 game, but it's definitely not what I'd consider a
still
brisk
not
autumn
gentle
day.
beat. Absolutely not. You have Jamie Simpson up at bat, but you can still hear the emotion in the voices. They're really jazzed up and excited for this game.
Absolutely. And so if you're the Bombshells, you want to keep them running around in the field. You want to keep them scrambling, keep them having to make those defensive plays. And that's what they've done his work. Coming to you you live again from the South Lake Soccer Complex in Wichita, Kansas. This is hosted by Visit Wichita and is presented by our friends at InVision. Had dinner with them last night. Very nice. Very great. They do some great work.
Just doing a
Back up to
field
the
check.
top of the lineup with Jamie Simpson. Jamie Simpson has a putout, and
She's 0 for 1, but she was put out by Kalari, her first at bat.
And that ball was quite high. It was a good 5 or 6 inches above the bat. Oh, it was a little
strikes.
bit late of a swing.
Pitcher saying, I missed you. It was my fault.
Come on, Mama.
And a perfect pitch. It went right over to right field, but nice and short. But Kalari has come all the way over there to swipe.
Kalari Gerkley is getting to the ball faster than their runners are getting to the base.
She
And
is
that's the second time for Jamie Simpson.
Totally dominating this game. She was over on the left field side up close, ran clear across center all the way over to right field to snag that ball before the runner could get to the base.
Good piece of hitting again. Molly's 7 for 7 now as far as just pure contact is concerned. I gotta say though, this is the nothing.
It was impeccable. I bet there was only about an inch off on that one.
Molly has her where she wants her now. 3 strikes.
yeah, this is usually they call it a money pitch.
Yep. And
And a hit just barely going to the pitcher. And
yeah.
it's going to be short.
I don't know how far Kalari's out there, but I would guess maybe 65 feet. So they need to get it 75, 80 feet.
You know, it's interesting. I'm sure
To
some
get
women,
past her.
some of the women approach this game and they want to have fun and they want to play hard. Kalari is ready to win and just kick everyone's butt in this game. Every play,
wants to
she's
do
just ready to
both.
She's been
go.
the captain of that team for 4 years. They've lost, so she's ready to take one home.
Get a win.
That is
First
going to be an
strikeout
out.
of the game now we
for Molly
see
Fleming.
for Molly Fleming, and she still made contact with the batter on the 3-strike pitch. So 0 for 2 now for Ash for the Bombshells.
Faith Penn.
Faith Penn coming up, and if anybody's going to hit it out over Kalari,
Yeah.
this ought to be the girl to do it.
Here's the chance.
Yeah, you get the feeling the Bombshells, that's really what they're going to have to do at this point, just smack it over everyone's head.
Even
get
going to
that first
right
one.
field
No,
doesn't
no.
seem to be too effective since
No,
Kalari's
maybe
dashing
Rebecca's
over
got some
there.
plays out there. Dakota's getting some plays.
Yeah, this is a determined effort early on for the Bombshells. And, you know, Richie, now I said in the first inning your prediction came true, but now that we're actually halfway through the game, your prediction is still true. No takes yet on the side of the Bombshells.
Yeah, Molly's learned most of her pitching from Kevin Simpson, and so he doesn't allow that. So
She's not
probably
interested
just
in
adopted that strategy. Yeah, a lot of folks in the southern region don't take balls. Bayou City Heat don't either.
Yeah, that's true. I didn't recall them taking any pitches yesterday.
And that one, the ball was a little bit high. Faith was right underneath it.
It's kind of a Midwest thing. A lot of it. I think Chicago also doesn't either.
Yeah, that's so East Coasters, you take too many pitches. Go up there and swing the bat.
Oh, a hard
that.
hit right
Swing
into
the bat
center.
just like
It
that.
went past
Something like
Kalari, went past the next, all the way out downfield, and she is out.
Was that Dakota
I
Hogwood?
believe that was Dakota.
I believe
Dakota
that was
Hogwood
Dakota Hogwood making that
with
pickup.
another deep put out.
That's 2 deep
Oh,
putouts
no,
for
that
her
might
so
be
far.
Gina,
Is that
Oh,
Gina?
It is
So-
Gina.
Natoli.
Natoli.
but Dakota was right there to back her up. She
Gina
had come all the
Natoli.
way over from right field.
Not one fire, but the other fire.
Yep, so I was half right. I was sort of right in a wrong kind of a way. So Gina Natoli with the put out, and we mentioned before the game, she's very good at hustling deep back there. 2 out is the end of the inning. It's starting to become a little bit of a concern. You go through the first inning, you go through the second inning, and maybe it's not quite a matter of concern. We're now halfway through this game, guys. This is now officially a little bit concerning for the Bombshells. They have been shut out. It's 2-0 through 3 innings, and they're hitting them deep. They're hitting them short. They're hitting them to the left side of the field. They're hitting them to the right side of the field.
To show in front of the camera.
So it's just they have nothing to show for it. 8 out of the 9 batters have been legitimately put out by the Divas. So we are now progressing to the 4th inning. It's 2-0. The Divas lead this game on Dakota Hogwood and Kalari Gerkley's runs.
So
So we're gonna have 6-1-2 in the 4th.
So at the end of the game, we do announce a most valuable offensive player and a most valuable defensive player.
All right.
And the Dot Shop has provided a tank top and a cap that announce or kind of say that MVP defensive, MVP offensive. Right now, I would say Kalari is on the defensive side, right? And
Really, Kalari or Dakota have the 2 runs.
yeah, and the offensive, it's going to be, a lot of times we have to check the stats after the game and really kind of, crack all the numbers. But the Dot Shop should be showing that on the screen for you guys. And we're glad to share that with them at the banquet. We do award a plaque to the woman offensive player and the woman defensive player, and they'll also get from the Dot Shop that cool tank top and cap.
So is
Well,
that
on the hat and cap they have is a picture, an image of a sheep for the wool team. It has a baseball bat and wearing a pink and purple cap. On the tank top, it also has the words wool, both in print and raised tactile braille. So one of those are going to be selected by the offensive and defensive player of the game.
So this is a very dangerous time right now for the Bombshells. You have a 2-0 game. The Divas batting in the 4th inning. The 2 young ladies about to come up to bat are Dakota Hogwood and Kalari Gerkley. They have the only 2 runs scored in this game. So if you're the Bombshells, this is the time. You're down by 2 runs, which looks like kind of a tall task as it is because you haven't scored in the first 3 innings. You fall behind by a little bit more, and the task becomes all the taller. So the defense really needs to be on it for the Bombshells this inning. Dakota Hogwood, however, stepping up for the Philadelphia Fire, has different plans. She's 1 for 1.
I think the last time she scored, that kind of odd thing happened where someone was told to stop, and
Absolutely,
Yes.
that was the last.
Yep, and that was the 2nd inning.
so let's see if this time she'll put it in play, and the defense will have a fair shot at it, and we'll see what happens.
But Dakota Hogwood is a very good contact hitter, and we've seen, for the most part, great contacts by all the hitters today. And that's been nice to see. Not sure really what the delay here is, but we are ready to go.
Oh, they and Lakeisha Holmes.
So Bellamy and Holmes, the only 2 subs, both now in for the Bombshells. So they're
2 more Texas players. Ronnie Bellamy represents the Lone Star Roadrunners out of the Fort Worth, Texas, and Lakeisha Holmes is on my team, the San Antonio Jets.
so you got Lone Star, you got San Antonio, you got Houston, Austin. Is that it? Is there another one? Am I missing? That's 4 Texas teams you got going on right there.
We got
Molly
5 Aztec
Monaco.
Warriors.
Aztec. Okay, yeah. So
Yeah.
that's 5.
Aztec
Okay.
Warriors. And sometimes there's the Bryan College Station Outlaws. They just didn't make it this year. That's where Hillary Oswald was. She got traded to the Heat for the game of the day.
So,
So we also have a sub on our picture here, Molly Blumenthal.
Richie, we got a new picture for the Divas.
Who's that?
Molly
Mari.
Blumenthal, the pitcher for the Divas. So good job by Ashley in her 3 innings.
She's 15 years old, and she's also another Gateway Archer pitcher.
Good job by the first Gateway Archer pitcher. 2 runs in 3 innings, some good contact. Left with the lead, 2-0.
Hard hit by Dakota right along the third baseline, and it's going to be foul.
It's a foul ball. That's a tough one.
Oh, but
Jamie was right on that too.
So 2 strikes on Dakota Hogwood, leading off in the 4th.
I want to show some love to our scorekeepers over here, keeping us on task with all the subs. Missy Lakowski and base operator Wilma Chestnut is on the base operating.
Yeah, those jobs aren't easy either in this heat. You know, you gotta keep your brain working all day.
I tried to do base
Paperwork.
operating. That's what happened. I forgot to turn it on.
Dude,
Yeah, my ADD kicked in.
Second pitch, Dakota popped it out for a line drive right into left field, right over her. And, oh, she is out about 2.5 seconds
Davey Simpson
before
with
she
the
hit
put
the base.
Oh, so close.
so close for Dakota Hogwood. It's great to see. Dakota Hogwood, in my estimation, is the most underrated player, underrated female in this league. People don't realize what kind of skills she has. She has 2 putouts today, and she hit a rocket. Great defensive
She has
play.
some power. Wow.
Great defensive play by Jamie Simpson. It looked like it was over her, and if it had gone completely past her, that would have been a run, and the 3rd run of the game for the Divas. But she didn't give up on the play. It sounded like she rolled back, or
She
however.
rolled over,
Yep.
grabbed it, and popped it up.
And got it
about
up.
2.5 seconds before the base was hit.
So now we go back to the top, and this is Kalari Gerkley, and she's 1 for 2 offensively, and she's also definitely told the story defensively in this game.
Kind of like Kalari. Jamie Simpson gets a lot of defensive fielding playing time with her team, so she's pretty on it, you know. She's pretty on the defensive side.
Oh, and just over the top of that ball.
So this is back up to Kalari.
Absolutely, for her second pitch.
Kalari's 3rd at bat.
And right over the
Second
top
strike.
of that pitch again.
And it's 2 strikes, no takes. And we mentioned we haven't seen the Bombshells take a pitch. I believe we've seen the Divas take 1, so maybe 2. So it really hasn't been a factor in this game. We've seen,
Oh, and the ball was just underneath
and
the
even
bat.
though it's the early, I believe that was the 1st inning. We saw that, so that really hasn't happened since then.
Resetting.
The thing. Hopefully it was the base operator.
Clara looks like she's still jazzed about this. She's telling the opposing team over there to shut up.
Yeah, she's ready to.
She's still ready to have fun out there.
Hey, Kalari's just, she's a little emotional.
She's a live
She
wire.
She means business most of the time. So
But she's got 3 strikes here. You got 1 out. You got the top of the 4th inning. Still a 2-0 Divas lead. It's held up. Kalari scored one of those.
I believe she's going to take this pass. Give her. Yep, that was a pass.
Oh,
She's
there's a
won a couple breaths.
You jinx it, but the count's full now. This is going to be the
A
money
little bit
pitch.
of heckling over there with the Bombshells.
yeah,
And a pop-up high over into right. Oh, it's just barely out of reach. Can they get to it in time? They have the ball, but they do not have it in.
She's safe.
She is safe. So that is going to be 3. Another
Kalari
one
with
for
her second
Kalari.
run.
So is there any award for, could you give the award to both players, Richie
She might
Flores?
be
Because
most valuable offensive and most valuable defensive player.
Right
It's
now
might be
we're-
Kalari right now, yeah.
we're looking at 2 for 3 offensively, and by far the most putouts of the game. That now increases the Divas lead to 3-0. And quite frankly, not a dead horse, but she had speed to burn there, and that got her to the base. With speed to burn, they might have been able to field that ball with some hustle and make that put out. Kalari didn't really give them that opportunity realistically. She was able to get to the base fast enough, and that's something that the Divas have done slightly better than the Bombshells in this game thus far overall.
Kim back up at bat.
Here's Kim Blumenthal, yeah. Another gateway connection here.
She's put the ball in play twice, 0 for 2, but
And a grounder right past the
that's
pitcher.
mom and
Oh,
dad.
went right between her legs, but she's got it, and she is out. Another put
And
out.
out of the day.
Nope.
So that's her second put out of the day. That's 2 outs in the inning. Solid contact by Kim. That's 0 for interesting. So that's a mom and daughter combination. The daughter finding her mother on the first pitch. How about Molly coming out, contacting everyone so far? 15 years old. She's a seasoned veteran. 2 outs. But now for the Bombshells, looking at the scoreboard, 3-0.
Back
It's
up to
time
Gina.
to get working from an offensive standpoint. Gina Natoli up there 0 for 2.
She did the hit last time, didn't she? Oh, no, she went that.
She struck out both times at the second bat. She made 4 straight contacts.
That's right.
Oh, just over the top of
misses
that.
there.
It was a hard swing. You could hear some air.
But Gina had also the put out of the inning last inning, putting out
Yeah, she put
Faith Penn deep to make sure she kept the Bombshells off.
Taking a little practice swing there to get stretched out. Oh, and she was just above the ball.
Pitcher felt like that was her fault on that one, but that's the 3rd strike on Gina.
You hear Dominic trying to give the pitcher some instructions to pitch his sister.
Oh, and a pop up over foul on third base
work
side.
there.
If he's going to give any instructions, you know.
For Gina. You know, this is the most spectators for one game that I've seen all week, and
He is a pitcher for the Fire, and he's the brother. Swing and a miss, that's strike 4.
She swung right over that.
yeah.
On Gina Natoli, but he's the brother of Gina Natoli. So that will do it. The Divas pick up another run, courtesy of Kalari Gerkley.
Kalari again.
Yep.
Second run of the game. And so that's another second run of the game for her, I apologize. We'll go to the bottom of the 4th. It's the 3rd run for the Divas. They lead 3-0. And they're kind of paper cutting the Bombshells a little bit here. No significant. 1 run in the 1st, 1 run in the 2nd, 1 run in the 4th. So they're just little paper cuts. And if the Bombshells, there's really no other way of putting it. They need to get to the base a little quicker. Maybe a little
pretty
better
much.
because they're hitting it. That's one batter has struck out.
This should
In
be
this
our
game.
substitute batter
And
coming
they're
up,
hitting
Ronnie.
quality hits.
Yes.
Just the defense too of the Divas is. I mean, they're just on. They're on it today.
And obviously, Richie, we've been talking about Kalari, but Dakota Hogwood and Gina Natoli, the 2 Philadelphia Fire representatives, no joke, deep. They are making the plays deep out there. So multiple players have been making the plays for them. Bombshell side of things, they've been no/slash defensively too. We saw some plays by Jamie Simpson. We saw the play. I
think Pam Chester's also been,
made a couple plays up there.
Pam Chester's made several over there in
Yeah,
right field.
Pam
She's
has
picked
2
them
or
up.
3, and Jamie has 2 or 3. And
So they're
Some
hustling
of
out
those
there.
that Pam has caught have actually rolled underneath her between her legs, and she still managed to turn around, grab them, and get them up in the air.
yeah. So we have a lot of veterans out there. Pam Chester's been playing since 2008. Jamie Simpson's been playing since, the early 2000s. Kalari, 20 years in the league. Probably one of the only females that was, back in 2003 with the Chicago Comets on the field, won a championship. She has a championship to her name, and a lot of veterans out there. Some rookies, a lot of veterans.
And someone like Kalari, as you mentioned, playing really, really hard in this game. A longtime veteran of this game, so she wants to win this game. It's not just a fun little competition for her. She wants this win, and you know that they want to start, to perform well. Show me something, says the Fire pitcher.
You'd almost think they were from Missouri, the SoMe State, but nope.
But for some of these, it's got to be a lot more real. They want to win this game, and Kalari's definitely playing like a woman who wants to win. So we're going to see, I believe, some new hitters, some substitute hitters for the
that's
Bombshells.
Yep, we do have
this
Ronnie up
inning.
at bat
Ronnie
as a
Bellamy.
sub. I hear a lot of love out on the field calling to the love out on the audience for them. Checking to see if our field is ready. The spotter's getting her player's position.
I'm not too sure who the spotters are for these teams. I didn't check that information, but much love and thanks for the spotters out there that are
Somewhat a thankless job at times, but definitely needed.
Yeah, probably might be Cameron Hogwood out there
for the Divas.
Yeah, maybe Christina from the Chicago team too. Christina Smurs, but I'm not sure.
The Divas. Obviously, we know.
Definitely ready to go.
So Ronnie Bellamy, I don't think I've ever seen her swing.
Who does she play for?
For the Lone Star Roadrunners. She's kind of like their team administrator kind of. You know.
She had a nice even swing, but she was a little under the ball, about 2 inches, but it's a nice swing.
Trying to crack the scoreboard for the first time for the Bombshells. Leading off the fourth.
Oh, and a light tip.
There we go. Molly found it.
So that'll be 2 strikes. She did find her, though.
Just got to put it on the good part of the bat here.
This will be the 4, 5, 6 batters scheduled for the Bombshells.
Oh, and this time she's a little under the ball.
But we've seen Molly be comfortable throwing with 3 strikes all day. She duplicate that here.
Oh, and she took a pass.
Oh, she took a pass.
First
Hey, I was
pass of
wrong.
the
There we
game.
go. But again, not one of her usual hitters from the Blackhawks, so maybe she wants
First
to
at
hear
bat of the
what's at.
game. Yeah.
She wants to hear what's at, you know.
Oh, just under it by maybe half an inch.
A
That
lot
was
of times
very
people
close.
want to either take a breath or to just get their timing back, you know, see kind of if they can hear where it goes right over the plate.
Yeah, and that was her.
Crystal.
That was her first chance to hit today, so she's coming into the game a little cold. 4th inning, strikes out. But here's Crystal. She's made contact twice. Sorry, she's 0 for 1.
Yeah,
First at bat
to the
was-
lineup. Yep.
yep.
So let's see if she just straightens that out a little bit.
And that would have been a run. That
Yeah.
was.
I think so.
Would have been a run if she had not missed it.
You know, when people miss bases on the Jets, you have to do 10 push-ups. I don't know if they had that rule on the Bombshells.
On the Bombshells.
That'll make you not miss the base.
Yeah, I had to do that yesterday.
Solid hit right down the right field, but that is foul. Probably
Straighten this
about
out.
8 feet out of the line.
Straighten it out, Crystal.
But that's also what separates the really, really good teams too. Different intense training regimens, things like that. If I miss the base, I'm doing 10 push-ups. That puts the fear into you. You're not really missing the base.
Some people are just so fast that they just
Zoom.
They go past it
Yeah.
by the time they hear it.
And there's no chance because you got to then slow yourself down, then turn yourself around, and then re-speed yourself up going back the other direction.
And then sometimes, the wind plays a big part. It kind of carries that sound somewhere else.
Yeah, ooh.
Pop up over again to the right, and it is foul
Right
again.
to the ball. They're hitting it to the right, hitting it to the left.
They've sprayed the field today. Defensively.
Yeah, just try to hit it past Galari is what they're trying to do.
Well, I don't know if
But
going
even
to the
so-
right is even helpful because she ran all the way over to right.
That's true, too.
And if they hit it past them, the deep players have done their job.
I want to say four defenders have made plays on the Divas.
High pop up over the pitcher, about 60 feet in the air, but dropped right behind her at the line.
Kalari got
No,
it.
Is
that
that
was
just not what kind of
Kalari.
game it's been?
Who's that? Kim
That
Bloomingfall.
was Kim. Grabbed
Oh,
it.
so five defenders now have made plays for the Divas.
And
Kalari was there to back her up about one step away.
that's just what kind of a game it's been. So from how you described that, Rosina, it was hit over her head, and it just stopped. It just
Went straight up and dropped right at the pitcher line.
And she was just like, "Okay, thank you very much. It's right here. I'll just pick that up." Shot number 2.
That's really been the story of the series so far. This grass, the ball's not really traveling that much on it. It's once it hits the ground, it's kind of sticking.
It's almost as if Mother Nature wanted to create her own storyline for this World Series because
Pam
the
up it
day
now.
before the games were scheduled to begin, we got hit with an unexpected rainstorm. So it's almost like the gods had their own view of what they wanted the World Series to look like.
Right.
Oh, Missed by Pam. Again,
this is
left-handed.
Six batter
Pam
sub. Or is it what is the other sub?
This
It's
is
the sub.
Pam.
Oh, it is Pam. Okay.
this is
oh,
Pam.
they
This is
inserted.
Pam. Yeah, Ashley Merlero got some for.
So she's in the 2 spot.
Right.
Oh, and a tip off of that, but it did just drop straight
So
down.
that'll be 2 strikes.
That's kind of another unwritten rule in the women of our league is, anybody who signs up to play is going to get in the game at some point. There's not like a starters, but
Very hard
Sure.
swing. Over the ball by about 3 inches.
And that's what you want, and that's what the viewers want to see too. If you're watching your teammate, you want to see her play.
You want to support them and see them play.
Yeah, you only get to see this once a year, and sometimes not even then. As we
Oh.
saw in 2020, we didn't get a World Series. There's a strikeout.
That was a
That's her
strikeout.
second strikeout, I think, for Molly.
You see Kalari again. She's the first one off the field for her team. Back up to the
Only
bench. She's
Always
very
bouncing, a little
exuberant.
bounce in her step. Yeah.
Yeah, but you're right. It has only been the second strikeout. 2 more solidly hit balls, but once again, defensively, the Divas are on it and they're making the plays. And another 1-2-3 inning. for the
Definitely
Bombshells.
holding the Bombshells at 0.
Yeah, here we go. Top of the 5th, right?
Yes, so it is officially crunch time, getting late. It's officially getting late. It's a 3-0 game. And from a Divas perspective, defensively, they had another run or 2 here. They might be able to start sensing it here to be able to snap this winning streak.
Hey, who's the sub?
Hey, Richie. So we have Samantha Mishler going in for Dakota.
Okay.
And then we have number 28, Kathleen, coming in for Gina.
Nothing, Gretchel?
Trish. Yes,
Trish.
I cannot pronounce it.
Yeah,
but
yeah, I
yes.
mean,
That one.
yeah.
The D one.
Gretchel. And that's Samantha Smealer?
Will you do me one favor? You know the lady sitting to the right of your water cooler?
So apparently they. I don't know.
Yeah,
But again, everybody's got to play. So
Everybody?
Samantha Smealer's coming in, and so is Kathleen Threchel for I don't
for
know
the
who
Philadelphia Fire, essentially. For
Okay, for
Dakota
Gina.
Hogwood and Gina Natoli.
And I believe this
Okay.
is our sub from last session. It should be Erica Thomas that is up at bat.
And the only thing ever so slightly controversial I'll say about that is this is why I make the claim that Dakota is the most underrated female player
But again,
by far.
in beat baseball, you have to be when you get subbed in, you have to at least be out for.
The
Could come
fifth.
in. She could come in the top of the 6th.
True.
Yeah. If they need
And
her.
the pitcher drops the ball.
Oh.
Yeah, no hitter will be able to hit that one. That's tough. So this will be 4, 5.
No pitch.
So who do we got here? This is
This is Erica Thomas. Oh, batter swing. Too bad.
is this
Almost
again?
caught. This is Erica Thomas. Almost caught the catcher. She swung before the pitch came.
Uh-oh.
A little bit of a close call for the catcher.
bottom of the order for the for the Divas, trying to expand on their 3-0 lead as they bat in the top now of the 5th inning.
Oh, and a hard swing, but a
Oh,
little
Rebecca
bit high.
Lewis.
So I believe they called that first one a pass ball since she swung before the pitch. I believe umpire Casey Cashman called that a pass ball. So I believe the count is 1-1.
Oh, there's 2-1.
She was high.
It's
on-
at, they officially gave that a pass ball, but they definitely have 2 strikes. And this is
Oh,
Erica
and
Thomas.
right over the top of that again. Yes.
Am I right on that one?
Yes,
Okay,
Erica
so
Thomas.
full count on Erica Thomas.
Or Rebecca Lewis. I'm not sure.
Well, she's got
If it's
Erica's
Erica Thomas,
number,
it's her first
51,
at bat of
so.
the game.
Yeah.
and she tipped that one.
It might
And,
roll to the 40.
she's
Is it
not
gonna
even
get there?
running.
She didn't think it was going to
We'll
go.
have to wait for the ump to call it, and it is
Oh,
foul.
it's a foul ball at the end.
Which is a good thing because she did not even attempt to run. She just stood
No,
there.
it's that girl, Erica.
You know, and let this be a lesson, folks. That this was foul, but it almost wasn't. And
You don't get to determine if it's foul or fair. You got it.
The right.
and
She
yeah,
stood there and did not
that's,
run.
And that's exactly right. So now she's getting talking to, and that's what you can
Pitcher
never,
was
ever,
trying
ever,
to
as a
swing
runner.
her on with her hands, but you got to remember they're wearing blindfolds out there. They
Oh,
are not going to
so she
see
thought
that.
it was foul, but it was actually an out.
But It was foul.
It was a foul.
Called a foul, but just kind of making the point that you can never, ever, because it darn near wasn't foul, and she, as the runner, made the decision that was a foul ball. You can never do that.
You run until you hear foul.
And that's
a swing
strikeout.
right over the ball, so that is going to be out.
So definitely not Erica Thomas's proudest at bat there. To kind of do the walk of shame back to the batter's box and then strikes out on the next pitch.
This
so
should be Ada.
Oh, Ada, okay.
Ada Sarek.
Ada is a Chicago Comet. I don't think she plays usually.
She's setting her bat up against the bottom of the home plate to set herself up and adjust there.
And again, so this is Ada Rudd, you said?
Ada Sarek.
Sarek. And Philadelphia Fire players are subbed out, so as the broadcaster for Philadelphia Fire, they did very well. Gina Natoli, great play, playing deep, acquitted herself well. She's a very good deep player. Cody Hogwood scored a run, darn near scored another run, and also made a couple of great plays defensively. So Philadelphia Fire players, nothing to hang their heads about today in this game.
Over the top of that ball, a little bit of a chopping downward swing there.
Again.
Another bare miss there.
And again, we thank all of you listening to us from the South Lake Soccer Complex in Wichita, Kansas. This is...
Oh, that was almost a connect on the tip of the ball there. She was about a quarter of an inch off on that one.
As this is hosted by Visit Wichita, and it's presented by our friends from InVision. And this is the NBBA World Series of Beat Baseball.
And that one was off a little too high with her swing, so she was about 3 inches off of the ball on that. It is going to be an out.
Yep, that's a strikeout, and that's out number 2. Back-to-back strikeouts. 2 new hitters, a little bit cold.
And this one is going to be Sarah.
She has
Mishler?
a few. So Sam Mishler, she's a Tennessee Titan. If I say Tennessee, I've done how many New Jersey Titans games, and I still say Tennessee Titans from time to time. So Sam Mishler, a very popular player from the New Jersey Titans, getting the cheers, getting the fan support, trying to expand on her team's 3-0 lead with 2 outs in the top of the 5th inning. And again, we thank you all for listening. For those of you who have tuned in to this annual Beat Baseball World Series, bringing you the Women of the League game. And what a great entertaining game it's been. 3-0. The Divas lead the Bombshells, trying to win their first game in this series since 2015.
Ready for her first pitch. A little bit of a high swing there. The ball was a bit low. Swings about shoulder high.
And Rosini, you mentioned it, the crowd at this game is definitely not like one that we've broadcast in front of so far in this
It's
tournament.
nice to see the love. Another one where the ball is just a little bit high at the tip of the bat.
Might be similar to what the championship game might feel like too. So probably a little bit more intensity, but
A little more intensity.
And a hard little pop, but it's only going about. She kicked the ball with her foot as she ran past. It's going to be foul.
I imagine they might want a little more quiet out
That
there.
was nice to get a hit on
A
that.
little loud here.
oh, this is Sam Smiller.
So we got 3 strikes on Sam Mishler. I've heard Mishler and Mishler.
Yeah.
So I'll go with Mishler.
No, it's foul.
Resetting back
Sam
up at the
Mishler, 3
plate.
strikes, 2 outs.
It's nice to have that connection.
I haven't met Sam, so I'm not too sure what team she represents officially.
It's the New Jersey Titans.
Oh,
Hard swing. She was over that by about 4 inches. though.
she got a strikeout, huh?
I did not know that. She
Absolutely.
strikes out here, but that's
They call her Sammy.
Yeah, Sam. Okay.
well, that's great that she's playing in this game in this tournament from a Bombshells perspective. They get out of the inning with no run scoring.
Also her first World Series.
So we are switching teams. Here's the
So
Bombshells
we were
are coming
told that
back
this
up
was
to
the first
bat.
World Series for Sam Mishler. We saw all 3 of these batters for the first time in this game, so all of them trying to get a little warmed up. So a 3-0 game as we head to the bottom of the 5th inning, and it's kind of go time now for the Bombshells. You got your 1-2-3 hitter, so you're going to see Faith Penn at some point in this inning. This is really the chance for the Bombshells to work their way back into this game, because if you get to that 4, 5, and 6 slots, you had a couple. Might have to, they would be eligible to come back in. I believe it has. No, I don't believe it has been 2 innings. I think those subs were made in the last half of the 4th inning. So this is the 3rd inning.
No,
So
you don't want everybody to leave.
I'm not sure that they'll be able to work their way back into this game if this inning doesn't happen for them. So 6 outs to get for the Divas. The Bombshells need 3 runs.
The minute people start coming back with pizzas, which they're doing, people will notice.
Yeah.
And they'll ask, and then they'll go out and get pizza. There.
Over there.
Over there at the pavilion.
So for those of you who are watching the game at home,
Is located directly behind the restroom area. There's a covered pavilion.
so if you'd like to come to South Lake Soccer Complex in Wichita, Kansas and get some pizza, or you could order it from your own house, probably be a little quicker.
Trying to get rid of Kalari here with a bribe of pizza. Trying to give the Bombshells a chance here.
Visit Wichita and Envision have really been sponsoring a lot of this free food and
It's been great.
tournament. Yeah, it's been really good.
And like I said, I met some of the folks from Envision yesterday. They just seem really, really nice, really good people who do great things.
We have Jamie Simpson up at bat.
So this will be Jamie Simpson. Then you have the 2 spot, which there was a substitution, and then you have the 3 spot, which will be Faith Penn.
No, I think Faith got subbed out.
That's major. Yeah. It's a major, major development. Jamie Simpson 0 for 2, but she's put the ball in play twice. Retired both time by Kalari.
And just underneath that ball for Jamie by about 2 inches.
Who got subbed in for Faith?
Who's it back to? Nobody. This is Jamie that's out.
Oh, it was Ashley who was subbed.
Ashley, that's right.
Okay, high
2
swing
strikes.
for Jamie.
Yeah, that'll be our first time for Lakeisha. We'll see Lakeisha hit.
Now Lakeisha will be up next.
And then the 3 slot is yet to be determined. Jamie Simpson trying to get her team on the board. It's bottom of the 5th inning.
They really need to get some points here.
Absolutely.
And a hard hit right up over the pitcher in a
Sounds like it's
perfect
gonna stay
little
fair.
pocket.
Over Kalari.
But there's Kalari, and she has her
They
out.
got her. She got her.
Popped right
3 for
over.
3. 3 for 3 for Kalari.
It's got to be her 6th put out or so, 7th maybe.
And a Jamie Simpson fan just quipped, "Tell Kalari the pizza's over there." So
What we've been saying.
tell Kalari to get off the field, go get some pizza.
All right, Lakeisha Holmes is going to have her first at bat for the Women of Our League game.
Bombshells.
Now, if you're the Divas, you can start looking at counting the outs. 5 outs to get.
Lakeisha Holmes went into at bat today for the Jets, and she almost had a run too. And it was one of those bang bangs. He was right at the base, and they picked it up, and it was so close.
So for the Jets, when you
Yeah.
look at who's
Base
emerged
check.
as an early favorite to maybe win the World Series, who's maybe looked the best, like some of the stronger teams. Certainly, the San Antonio Jets are looking extremely strong in the first 2 games, first 2 days of pool play.
Nice even swing by Lakeisha, but the ball was about 2 inches underneath that. It's
1
very
strike.
level.
But yeah, 4 runs allowed in 2 games for that team defensively. The Indiana Thunder will obviously be a factor.
And a hit on that one, but it's going to be running right along the first baseline, and that is foul.
Okay, second pitch. She got her.
Got her contact, and she's got to straighten it out. This is her first at bat of the game.
Ready
Lakeisha
for
Holmes
this.
also has been one of the consistent leaders of this program as well, this project. She's
Oh, another nice even swing.
So this will be the
Just
3rd
over
strike.
the ball.
And what's great about this game, from what I didn't understand going into the game, I knew it was obviously all women players and all women spotters. It's the umpire is a woman, so the entire game.
how about that
And
for
that was a
diversity? There we
miss.
go.
And there's a swing and a miss.
Even our
strike
base
4.
judges are all females.
So no one on the field is a man. It's a legitimate all women game, not just all the great women players of the league. It's the umpiring. You see a woman umpire, and Casey Cashman's done a great job in this game. And we've just seen the the women of our league. It's an all-encompassing thing. 2 outs now for the Bombshells. That was a strikeout for Lakeisha Holmes, so they're down to their final out here in the 5th inning.
Faith Penn's up.
Faith doing her traditional stretch there with the bat behind her back. She's done that at every single before her first pitch.
To really get the team back in the game, she can just hit a home run. I mean, it's really simple.
Here we go.
Really simple, Matt. Huh?
Just,
You've gone
170
out there and
feet in
hit
the air.
yourself a home run?
Oh, every time.
She did.
Not even in my dreams,
She
Rosie.
won the long ball competition for the win.
She did win the long ball competition.
And a hard hit,
I didn't know
fly
she
ball
won it.
right over Kim. I don't think Kalari's going to make it to this one. It's back in the outfield between
Faith
center
got a run.
And she is on the board for the Bombshells.
That was a
Faith
bomb.
Penn.
Not necessarily a home run, and she didn't wait around for any of that 3-strike nonsense or anything like that. That was first pitch.
Take
I've
that.
had enough. Take that. No more shutout. It took till 2. Who's been making contact all day with her batters.
And they roll on 2 here with 3-1.
I think Faith went 4
This
for
would be
12.
Ronnie up at bat, but you got to give it to Faith, putting their team
4
on the
for
board.
12, so that's definitely not a bad batting average there.
She knew exactly where to hit it. Keep it away from Kalari.
Yeah.
I believe that Matty Cleats, who's broadcasting this game over here, he probably had 4 hits in his entire career. He played for 3 seasons or so. So there's
I've had
2 outs.
no hits and only 1 run in my career, Matt, because I did a sample run under sleep
So
shades.
basically what you're saying is, what are we doing broadcasting? We should be out there playing. Clearly we were productive. So who do we got going?
This should be
This is Ronnie.
Ronnie.
Ronnie
Okay,
Bell.
so this will be her second crack at it. She struck out in her first at bat, but she made some contact. You saw her. She was the batter who made the first pass of the game off Molly.
And a solid hit again down to right field, but
I
I'm
think
not
that's
sure if
gonna
it's
stay
going to
fair.
make it. I think it's going to be fair. Oh, it's fumbled out of her hands, but Kim. Oh, she has it up.
Oh my! Oh my!
Oh, and poor Ronnie,
Oh,
she
my.
fell on the way to
Wow.
third base. I don't think she was going to be safe anyway, but just about the time that they grabbed the ball, she stumbled to the ground.
So a good run to the base. You never know. Then the fumble stumbles the ball. Ronnie. So what probably happened? I've been there, and again, I'm no benchmark, but I've been there. You're running to the base, and you hear what you think is up. You hear, oh, and you don't exactly give up, but you think it's over, and you just, it's like you're caught between that stop and start, and you want to keep going, and who knows? Maybe she just naturally tripped, but what a heartbreaker there for the
Put out by
For the
Kim
Bombshells.
Blumenthal.
Kim Blumenthal, her second of the day. She's made some plays, but so
She
on one
fumbled
hand,
the ball, but then got it back up in the air in time to have that put out.
So
But the
on-
Bombshells do have 1 on the board now.
they do have 1 on the board. They got to feel good about themselves. Ronnie Bellamy, someone who didn't make contact her first at bat, has made contact. So going into the 6th inning, you definitely have faith that they're going to make contact. Faith Penn scored the only run. 3-1 as we're going to the 6th. They need to keep it where it is, though, from the Bombshells' perspective.
Yeah.
But this is it. We are now going to the top half of the 6th inning. This will be Yeah, umpires don't like that.
We try to promote positive language, definitely in
Absolutely.
sanctioned Beat Baseball World Series. And sometimes emotions can get ahead of you, and you know how that is in sports.
Yep.
A little bit of good sportsmanship. And we got
Yeah.
Kalari back right up at the plate again. It's interesting to see what she's going to do here.
We need an excuse not to give her both awards. And unfortunately right now, don't really have that excuse. She's 2 for 3 from the plate. That's 2 of the 3 runs scored for the Divas. And that's, you know, the Bombshells only have 1 run, so 2 runs is the most that anyone's scored. Made by far the most defensive putouts in this game, so she's been so far the MVP of this game.
And, you know, it's nice to spread out those awards, but it's really nice to see that can excel both offensively and defensively.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and you know, considering the community, I think Kalari's probably gonna say, "Give me one and give someone else the other."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, just above that pitch. She could feel the ball right there.
Yeah.
So it's 1 strike on Gerkley. Kalari Gerkley 2 for 3.
Oh,
And she swings and misses, so that's 2 strikes.
underneath that
and
one.
It's the 6th inning. It's 3-1. Trying to think of who I'd even think about as maybe getting.
Hard hit on the ground,
those
right in
awards.
center field, past the pitcher, on the ground. It is right to him. They just got to get the. They have her up, and she is out.
Got her.
Who made that play?
That was. What's the number on that?
Who's that?
Who had the cutout?
Crystal Malero.
So Crystal
Crystal.
Malero with the put out there. It sounded like
Thank you.
Kalari missed the base, although it seemed like it was a relatively quick put out. Kalari, once again, a sharp line drive. She just hits those
Right
balls so
down that
sharply.
center line.
2 for 4. She'll finish today, likely, unless there's a comeback.
I
And
mean, it
there's
was
1 out.
almost like there was a magnet on that ball. And that orange line field was just traveling right along there, Matt.
So now here's the 2-hole hitter. Who do we got in the 2-hole now?
So we have Kim Blumenthal is up to bat right now.
I think Kim Blumenthal's still
Okay.
coming up.
Hey, that's what they called. The umpires called it. It's all right. It's all right. Let it go. You're good.
And now, so much for emotions not running. You know, it's the 6th inning, and now it's like, wait.
Yeah, here he goes. Yeah, this is when
go
the contest
time.
comes. Yeah.
Getting a little heated here.
All the
You can
good
understand.
feelings about fun, and you know, just a nice game.
Now we
just
wanna
sit
hit
and
the W.
relax, and
It's all about the
All
W.
gone.
When it comes right down to it, it's still just a sporting event, though, and everybody wants to win. So
Yeah, absolutely.
Totally understandable. Kim Blumenthal up at bat.
well played game.
Along the third base. That is Jamie.
And you mentioned all the different. Kimberly, Pam, the side of things have made plays. On 5.
Yeah,
Sides have made defense.
good team.
It's not.
Your Kalari, that's like 6.
Yes.
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 Right, exactly.
Bombshells, they've been on it defensively.
Change jerseys.
So Rebecca She's hitless in her. If it was first at bat in the first inning. Strikes.
About 3.
Bandits.
Will rob all of your.
That would be
That was.
Oh no.
Apologize. I had it at 2. Strike 4. Great job defensively for them in that last inning, save for the 1 strikeout to be on it, to make the plays, to give their team a chance. And we have 5, 6, and 1 scheduled. So, are you looking at what is it going to take for Faith Penn to come up to the plate?
Oh, we have that.
She'd be the 5th batter. A tie game, and she could walk it off. She could, so that's what we're looking at here. But the Bombshells need someone else to score. Just might 5, 6. She's trying to get off.
that people run.
No.
Okay.
Usually out there. Some hand waving back and forth.
I have to say, there's certain people you can hear any thought that enters their head. You can just kind of hear it. It's just top of the
Whether you want it.
3-1.
Yeah. I logged.
That they're all set. They're gonna.
Team conference. We close
We
it
have a
out.
change.
Such a big win for the Divas that they could. They've won the. You know that.
The first time, so this is. Oh. Hadn't won since.
This is our fifth.
Kind of felt like the history.
For the bomber.
Yeah, so the Divas.
That's some.
Is the first time in history. It 6.
3 inches.
You want to heckle?
Papa.
Wow.
Again. Caught
Kim
right.
Resist. They've all come really after.
Run for
Trying to get that.
You have 2 outs left. Pam
Chesser.
I believe you're right on that.
Just a little.
Defense.
High that time.
3-1.
Went right underneath. Grab that ball out of the other player. Desperate to have that.
Just. Yeah. That play right there. His legs. Turn to get to the base. Come up and make. There. So now this is it. 6th inning.
That is the second. Jamie Simpson.
And has been put out by Kalari. Same player.
Pop. And Kim has it.
Is it? First time in history to 3-1. Divas all for Molly. 1 run for. What a game. The North Bombshells.
The Divas are all congratulating. For the congratulations.
Thank you, live. The video.
Full insight.
Our league.
The final score again.